Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to this session of the Travel Trends Summit AI event. Great to have you here. My name is Bruce Rosard. I'm with Arival with three special guests. We're going to talk about tools that they can use that you all can use while you're looking to build your business better. I want to first introduce our co-presenters here. We have Tahnee Perry. Can you tell us about yourself real quick?
Sure. Great to be here. Thanks for having me. I think this will be a great session. So I'm Tahnee Perry. I'm the founder of an AI implementation and training agency called A25. And so I talk to teams all over the world in a variety of different segments, but mostly travel. I teach them how to use AI in their company.
Great. Thanks, Tahnee. Brandon Lake, you've got a number of company names behind your name. Tell us about yourself, your different businesses, and why you're on stage with us.
Sure. So I am one of the owners of Western River Expeditions and Moab Adventure Center. And we do rafting and adventure tours all over Utah, Grand Canyon, and a few other areas. I'm also the founder and CEO of Resmark and WaiverSign and Resmark Web. We have a lot of different tools from a software perspective that we built for ourselves, and we now share with the industry. Everything from booking platforms to digital liability waivers to a full-blown marketing agency where we're doing website work and different marketing help and even strategic coaching for companies all over.
So you need AI to help you stay
absolutely efficient. We use it a ton and found some pretty exciting uses of it. I'm looking forward to sharing today.
And our third presenter here, Christian Watts. Introduce yourself, although maybe no introduction is needed.
Thanks, Bruce. Yep, Christian with Magpie Travel. Most of my life spent as a tour operator in San Francisco, but been running Magpie for the last few years, and I talk mostly all day about AI. Do a lot of conference travel, a lot of sort of teaching, and I just love this subject. We use a ton of AI in Magpie. We jumped very quickly on this 3 years ago when ChatGPT launched. So excited to be here.
You did, and you keep going. Okay, so we're going to jump right in. This session is really about tools and tools that can be used very practically. I know there's been a lot of technical things, especially yesterday. It got pretty technical. We're going to stay really practical, and hopefully you come away from this session with some things that you can really pretty easily put into work right away. For those that don't know, this group focuses on destination experiences, tours, activities, and attractions. So we're going to have a bent towards that part of the travel industry, but all these tools can be used, obviously, no matter what your business is. So we're going to start with Tahnee with demonstrating a couple marketing tools. Go ahead, and we don't have a lot of time here, folks, so we are going to go pretty quick. Go ahead, Tahnee.
All right, so I'm going to show you two of my favorite tools. The first one is Gamma, which is, I think, the best presentation AI platform on the market today. We'll do a quick walkthrough of that. And then the second is Gemini, but inside there, I'm going to show you how to use the text to image and text to video generation feature. It's called Nano Banana and Veo, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I'm going to share my screen so we can take a look at Gamma. All right, let me know when you see that. Is everyone seeing that?
Yep, now we go. Yep.
Good. Okay. So this is Gamma. This is the dashboard that you land on when you first sign up. And you can see I have all of my presentations in here. You can see I've been pretty busy. And the way this works is that you click the Create New with AI, and you have a couple of different options here. You can paste in your text. You can just give it a general direction, or you can import a file. I generally when I make my presentations, I like to use the outline I've already created. So I usually select this first option. And then you come in here, you cut and paste your copy, and then you can select how you want it to generate the slides for you. You can have it generate from your notes, summarize a long document, or preserve your exact text. Now, I'm not going to go through this today because it does take a little bit of time. So we're going to duck back into my dashboard and have a look at a presentation that we made for a destination recently. So what happens is it's taken my outline and it's automatically laid everything out in this really nice, I think, beautiful way. And it's also created the text and the images that go together. You can do a little bit of customization around the images. So you can see I went with a kind of blue and yellow color scheme, but you could change that if you don't like it. And you can change the layout, styles, etc. One thing I get a lot of questions about is, oh, I never really like the images that Gamma creates. So if you don't like this, you can come in here and edit the image. And you can see in here, I have quite an extensive prompt. I always have my AIs help me with that, but you could rewrite this prompt and then it will give you new options for a better image that you might like in there. So that's Gamma. I know that was a super quick look, but we don't have a lot of time. So I'm going to jump over to Gemini and show you the image generation features in here. So you just access Gemini's gemini.google.com. And when you arrive in here, you'll see your chat window. And all you have to do is select create image. And when you do that, you describe the image you would like to see. And it does take a couple of minutes, so we're not going to generate anything today. But I can show you a couple of examples. But before we do that, I do want to also point out you can create a video. So all you have to do is if you want to create the image, you select this. And if you want to create the video, you select this. So let's have a look at some of the video creations that I made. So we have this image here, which I also created with Nano Banana. And then I wanted to convert this into a video. So I just said, create a video of this bus pulling up next to the bear. And so it took about 2 minutes.
Oh, we don't have audio on it right now.
So I think that's a pretty good look at VO. Bruce, do you want me to go into any more detail, or is that?
No, there's one question that came up that I think is relevant. How does Gamma differ than Beautiful.ai?
So I've used both, and I much prefer Gamma. I find the UX in Beautiful.ai a lot clunkier, and the generations just don't look as nice. And the other thing is, in Gamma, you can export down to Google Slides or PowerPoint, and then you can move it back into your work suite, and everything is fully customizable. In Beautiful.ai, you don't have as much control over that.
I'll also agree with that. I've used Gamma in 2 conferences in the last 2 weeks. I do live demos with it, and it's just amazing. And I find that the slides it produces, they're sort of 90% ready to use to display. I think it's the best third-party tool available today. And I don't like these. Yeah. I don't like these third-party tools generally. I stick to LLMs, but Gamma it's incredible. It feels like you're cheating. You are cheating.
Brandon, have you used Gamma?
I've not used that one, no. But I've used the image generation through Gemini with Nano Banana, and I've been frustrated at it sometimes quite a bit. Just it's not what I want. But then sometimes I've been really impressed, particularly with like making tweaks to some of the images. I actually did one the other night. Maybe I'll pull it up here in a second. But I had a restaurant scene. We have a restaurant guide on our website, and I was taking something that was kind of a blah sunset image of people eating at the table. They're all looking at their phones, and I was like, that doesn't look very engaging. So I said, make the sunset more vibrant, turn on the party lights, because they have party lights that weren't on yet, and get these people engaged at the table. And it was cool. Like, it took everybody, one of them turned and smiled at the camera, the others are looking at each other talking, the sunset lit up, and the party lights turned on. And I was like, that's cool. Those are tough edits to make, even in Photoshop or whatever editing tool you're making. So
one other question that's come up is how you get the Gamma logo off of your presentation, Tahnee.
You need to sign up for the pro version. So they do have a free tier. It is generous with the credits, but you'll end up with the Gamma logo.
How much is the pro version?
The $120 a year. So it's kind of
$120 a year. Okay, $10 a month.
Yeah.
$10 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's well worth it. I use this every day.
Cool. All right, let's move on to Brandon. Brandon's going to kind of take us through actually putting in some flows that he's been using for his multiple businesses with AI and creating some real conversion on his website. So take it away, Brandon.
Awesome. Thanks, Bruce. So yeah, we had a challenge where we've had a website that ranks really well. We were reluctant to make changes on it, but we're starting to see AI really produce some results for us, both in search from Perplexity, ChatGPT, Gemini. People are finding us, converting well, and we really wanted to build on that momentum, and we wanted to speak in a more targeted way to our ideal customer, and really define that and kind of help that take conversion to the next level on our website. So we've been some tools. I'm going to share just a quick little sequence of what we do, and then I'll share some of the results on our website. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up, make this big for you. So a lot of what I'm sharing here can be automated if necessary. And I think there's some pieces here. We do this from the perspective of make.com, which is a workflow automation tool. We'll take a tool like Appify, which has a really great website scraper component. So within seconds, you can go in and scrape. For example, we'll grab all of the reviews from a TripAdvisor profile. We'll grab the reviews from a Google profile, Yelp. We'll pull all of that together. We put it in markdown format. And then we'll take the website, like certain pieces of website content, chat logs, reservation data, Google Analytics data. We pull all of that together, and we then put it into a project inside of ChatGPT. And then we run a series. We have this Resmark growth engine framework that we built. It's a series of prompts to develop an ideal customer profile. And the outputs have been really phenomenal. So let me just show you real quick here on from a website perspective. This is our brand new site that's about to launch today after this meeting, actually. But so we've taken it all the way to the level of video content. This was not generated by AI, but the outline of exactly what would resonate with our ideal customer was. And so we've built that into this. We have, headlines, copy, all kinds of stuff that we've built that we know is going to resonate with them. We've utilized their language. In fact, there's a section here that I love that actually came from one of our reviews that I probably wouldn't have found. It was like a little, diamond in there in the rough. And having AI analyze all of this, it pulled things out like this, like trusted Moab guides that feel like family, which perfectly describes what we're going for and how our guests interpret it. And so we've utilized it across every page of the site, question generation. We mix in SEO tools to that as well. We've even utilized it to optimize our product names and descriptions and everything. You can see on some of our product category pages, for example, pulling out from all of that review data, chat logs, all of that, we can pull together kind of the things that mean the most to our customers, that are most frequently mentioned, that really resonate with them in terms of moving them forward with a booking.
Hey, Brandon, I'm going to interrupt you for a minute, or maybe more. I think we're all mesmerized by the amazing, beautiful pictures that you've got here. And you're showing us the work that you've put into this, and AI is in the background. Tell us a little bit more about how the AI really got you to where you are. Go in a little bit more detail than that, because I know that's what everyone wants to hear about.
Yeah, so we have, in fact, maybe I'll just pull this up here really quick. Let me grab this here, Bruce, and I'll pull it up here onto the screen. So if you look at our project files inside of ChatGPT, you can see here, we have all of these various files that we've created in here. I have very specific instructions inside of this project. So if you were to look at our instructions here, I've given it, a certain persona. I tell it to exactly what I want it to do, what tone it needs to use for each one of the types of activities. When it's writing or revising a website, what it should do. We have specific pieces like a 40 to 65 word summary paragraph that directly answers the visitor search intent, because we found that gets us citations the most in different AI platforms. And then we work through an outline and kind of go through that. So we basically have a structure that we're applying to this, and you can see all of these have been different components of the site, building out different pages to produce.
Brandon, I have a question. You've got amazing prompts in there, but do you then have a copywriter review the output from ChatGPT? Do you add in that human element? Okay.
it's a great idea generator. It generates it way faster than we ever could. But the coolest thing is that I've been blown away is when you get all of these files into your project and you're utilizing it with the prompts. It's always cross-checking, and we've utilized that to build sort of this ideal customer profile. What language do we use that's going to resonate? All of that, and then it finds itself into every component that we put together. And we do this not just for, this is an example of us doing it for our own company, but we also do the same for other companies as well, and have just been kind of mesmerized by the results of it. It's really fun to use and to pull together.
Christian, what's your thoughts on when Brandon was able to show us kind of the little bit of the back of the house and the projects? You're on mute, or we can't hear you.
I was on mute. There's background noise. Yeah, I think there's two people that I see people not using enough that everyone should be using. One is projects or similar. So on ChatGPT, it's projects, or GPT is kind of the same thing. I use projects. It's a knowledge base, right, of your company, just like Brandon showed. You get all of your documentation, all of your products, your company, everything about your company, and you store it in one place. And then anything you ask, now you can just say, create an Instagram campaign, and it's got all of that context. It's basically saving context, which is what it's all about. Tony just asked about checking the copywriting. Yes, you should also copy it, but I'd say 99.9% of the time, if you do this right, it's going to nail it first time. But yes, of course, you should always still check it. Second thing I'll just mention quickly is people don't use enough is Gemini Deep Research. Either the model's Deep Research, but Gemini Deep Research is just amazing hack. It's just very simple. It's on the paid model only, I think, still today in most places. But it'll do your research projects, and you can do it unlimited, and it's a fantastic tool. But yeah, number one, let's do what Brandon just showed you.
Let's go back to Brandon. We're down to about 3 or 4 minutes. And I know you had a few more things you wanted to show us.
No, I was just going to say some of the other fun things have been, when we get to a point where we'll analyze objections that people have about our tours, and then we'll basically because it has access to all of our reviews, we'll utilize that to basically find reviews that will kind of obliterate those objections, which is really cool. Because in the past, I would have spent, I don't know, it's just days, honestly, looking through reviews, trying to find the best ones. Or I would have found kind of mediocre reviews because I just don't have the patience to read through that many reviews. Not that they're all mediocre, but just like really finding the right ones is really cool that it can do that so quickly.
So I want you to summarize, Brandon, because you've done so many different things. What are the top 3 things you'd say where you've used AI to really optimize your business in the last 6 months when you've rebuilt a lot of this stuff?
Yeah, I would say number one, creating content, whether that's getting the right imagery, videos, or copy that's really going to resonate with our clients. We've also utilized this in other contexts where we have, and I think I've got this at the bottom of this page here, from a lead generation perspective. I don't have that in front of me, but we've utilized it for lead generation, lead follow-up, which has been phenomenal to really resonate with people and provide them what they're looking for at the time of planning and booking. And then overall, I think it's just been, a massive amount of time saved. Here's something that goes back to what Tahnee talked about. There's that image of the sunset, turning on the lights, and having all these people who were staring at their phones totally engaged.
This is a AI generated image.
Not an AI generated image. It's an image that was
enhanced it.
Joker. Like the lights were off, the sunset was a little blah, and these people were literally all sitting here staring at their phones during dinner, which is pretty common.
Okay, we're down under a minute here. Tahnee, last thoughts.
I have so many questions. Sorry?
You have questions, or you want to tell us a statement?
Well, I just love the way Brandon is using the text to image generation. He's not creating a whole new image. He's enhancing them, which I think is a really incredible use case because he owns the image already and has that copyright, hopefully, but he's enhancing it in a way that makes it more engaging for the user.
Okay. Last comment, Christian.
Last comment, I think 95% of your time should be on just the LLM, just within ChatGPT or Gemini or your chosen model. I think these third-party tools, the ones that you've seen today,
We are out of
fantastic.
time. I know that the thing's going to go away. Thank you all. Really appreciate it, Tahnee, Christian, and Brandon. It was a quick session, and maybe we'll continue more at a future event.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Thanks, everyone.
Happy to answer any questions.